We've got OpTic, plenty of nades for this T-side pistol.
We are ready to get into it, ladies and gentlemen. It's Astralis on the CT side, OpTic on the T side. And there is plenty of nades, like you said, Alex, on OpTic to play with here. They're going to send Tessus over towards ramp at Astralis. They've got 3 players coming over here. It's going to be a stack and a battle in towards the ramp room. And Magis just hiding in behind the pillar with a crossfire established between Device. Device will take the first bit. Shot comes in from MSL that will drop Zipex. Finally, Magisk will fall as well, as MSL is doing a lot of work running in towards the A-bomb site. Device has to fall back.
And Device goes down to MSL. 3 entry kills from this man. And I think it's clear Astralis are trying to counter this A execute, but they're just dying to MSL.
Yeah, MSL, this is kind of the level that he can sometimes have, right? He's the in-game leader, he's AWPing, he's got a lot of potential skill to be a fragger, but every now and then it falls flat. But this is a great start. It will be Dupree dropping config. Glaive coming back in with a headshot. And we're into a 2v2. There's a smoke still available on Dupree. That'll go on towards the bomb. Still time to play with here. So they are starting to make their way in, tapping the bomb. Dupree trying to bait him into the open as Glaive. He has to win it a 1v2, but it won't come through as Tessus and MSL rack in the kills. 1-0 here for OpTic, and 4 kills for MSL in the pistol.
Yeah, so I was saying in the pre-game, these A executes are really commonplace. And I like this idea from Astralis, just try and fight in A ramp, try and take away that option. But as soon as the Glocks get 1 or 2 kills, they can just get onto the site way too easily. And even though Glaive and Dupree did as much as they could on that retake, the time was so low at the end there, they couldn't really win the round. But maybe they can win this one, because Astralis are forcing up into round 2.
It's getting pretty scary for a moment there, wasn't it? But Zipex does pick off config. MSL will connect onto Glaive. Zipex meets his maker as well. So Dupree and Magisk, the last 2 players remaining here in Astralis. It's interesting, and we didn't really touch on it. They have gone for the force buy here, Astralis. They invested quite a bit into it. SMGs across the board, utility here and there. So if OpTic, obviously, find the last 2 players here. This should be a 3-0 start as Tessus cleans up the last 2 players.
Tessus is putting up some numbers early on here. 5 kills. 4 of them there coming in that round, but it was against the force buy, like you said. In fact, it's only Tessus and MSL having done all the fragging for OpTic in these first 2 rounds. And now Astralis are going to have to take the save. It's not too bad for Astralis. They're going to go 3-0 down, almost certainly. But then this next buy round should be very strong for them. And OpTic, again, they're doing the same thing. They're all going into B ramp.
I really like this, right? We've seen this come through from a lot of teams, is where, well, if we keep doing this, I execute, and you can't stop it, well, then we're going to keep doing it until you do stop it. Obviously, it's against the full eco here. It's more important what comes into the first gun round. That's going to be the telltale factor, as config is going to be the front man with the AK, looking for a piece of the action. There's a player close by. Magic's further back as well. The flash comes in. Here comes the peek from Astralis. It's MSL finding 3 kills. Config will pick up 2, and it's job done for OpTic. 3-0.
Yeah, again, not a bad effort from Astralis stacking the A site, but they don't get a single kill. Now we've got the gun round from Astralis. If OpTic continue to put all their players in A ramp, this is where you can lose mid control maybe, and you have to be aware of that ladder. You can certainly lose A control as well. We're seeing teams on their CT side use their early nades down those stairs to try and take control there, but OpTic, okay, they're not going everyone ramp this time. But there's still 4 players here.
Yeah, so a little bit more of a default play, perhaps looking for that early pick. But again, Astralis are keeping up this advanced stance towards the A ramp. They haven't really stopped going there. They're going aggressive pretty much every round. A Device, he's got the early pick and he hasn't fallen back. He's still there.
Yeah, and he has players there to support him. Currently, Zip is the main man trying to help his teammate out. This is a fairly big off angle from Device, and he gets a frag for it. Trade comes through from Tessus. That means that Zip has to back off to the B bomb site. And OpTic lose out those opening trades this time.
Yeah, Device getting 2 for 1 there is incredible, right? He gets that early pick, doesn't fall back, and you're just not going to expect Device to still be on the ramp, right, if you're OpTic. So really smart plays from Device coming through. Gives Astralis the man advantage to play with. And Zipex in a corner that is kind of obvious, but still doesn't get checked. It's kind of like that boost on Inferno on the wall in CT. it's so obvious, but people just don't check it. And, well, Zip should be confirmed 1 kill here unless they hard counter him with a Molotov. It's not going to come through, though, as utility comes in. Rotation from Astralis in, but here goes Zipex. Up on top. They haven't checked him. They're going to keep walking forward. This is his time to shine. 2 kills, a third from Zipex, and that's going to be Astralis on the board.
Yeah, a lot of the times that spot is good for at least 1 frag, but they don't clear it whatsoever, so he gets 3 in from above. He was the only player who could properly stop that bomb from being planted on the site because of all the smokes that were deployed by OpTic. But Zip manages to make it work for his team. Astralis on the board with their first round win. And here comes the AWP of MSL. Device doesn't get one into his hands, though, so he's got free reign with the sniper.
A little bit of a faster approach in towards the ramp. Zipex, he hears this, he'll start to run back with his teammate. Astralis need to be careful, but I love this angle. MSL's ready for it. Device is gone. And Zipex, the last remaining player on the A bomb side at the minute. This does weaken the defense of Astralis. When Zipex stays alive, Config will start to take a little bit more of an advanced stance in towards the ramp area. And OpTic, at the minute, are in control.
And it's almost all been action on the A site for OpTic in these first 5 rounds.
Ooh.
Good damage done by Tesses, but MSL dealt with. Nice trade from Tesses onto the site itself, and Astralis are starting to rotate quite heavily to this A site, but it's a fake being drawn by Tesses. This is so well done.
Yeah, this is excellent from OpTic. They know that Astralis' defense has been weakened, and they've went towards A so many times that they've conditioned the rotation. And, well, OpTic have just walked in towards the B bomb site. Utility still available. Astralis just have to save here. There's no money in the bank.
Yeah, this is what I want to see more of. Teams need to start realizing that the rotates are going to come to that A site. CTs are now very, very scared of the possibility of that A execute. So quite a few rounds we're seeing where the CTs almost fully rotate over to this A site. This time Tesses gets 1 kill in on the exit. Magis might have slipped by, and Tesses does indeed hit the deck. Oh, nice shots from Magis. A couple of kills for him. That might allow the AWP to be saved.
Yeah, that's pretty huge as well, right? Because he's keeping that economy somewhat modest on OpTic. That's just 2 more rebuys that you're going to have to pull into the next one. And if they can see if this AWP on over towards Device, well, even though Astralis lose this one, moving into the next, they stand a real chance.
So OpTic have the early lead. As you said, though, should see some investment from Astralis.
It's still ridiculous that Testis and MSL's on 9 kills already. Config has got 2 and the rest with 0. So it really has been a big showing from Testis and MSL early here. Over towards that A bomb site. We'll see. It's only a matter of time before Astralis start to get into their groove, you'd have to expect. And we'll see what OpTic can do in that sort of scenario. 4-1 currently on the scoreboard. Astralis, they've got a decent buy into this one. Perhaps lacking a little bit on utility, but this is going to be Device. Again, aggressive with Zipex. It's only 1 kill, and it almost feels like they just have to trade, and they've done that effectively. Bombs done, and, well, OpTic can't really do anything about this aggression.
Yeah, again, it's Tesses putting up some good numbers, even in a round that doesn't look good for OpTic. Nico needs his first 3 kills on the board if he wants to win this round.
Well, Nico can have big performances. He's a player that really loves that Krieg. He gets himself into a lot of great positions a lot of the time with it. He can be a very annoying lurk player. He can be somewhere and nowhere at the same time, it feels. But with 1 minute left on the clock, he's got the bomb in his hands. At least that's something. Still has utility to play with as well. He's just hoping one of the Astralis players to overextend, give him a slight chance into this clutch. It's going to be difficult, and he's going to attempt it as he moves his way up towards the B stairs. Dupree is in towards the toolbox, so Nico might get a bomb plant here.
Yeah, B is wide open. Again, Astralis focusing much more on the A bomb site. Nico finally figuring it out. Dupree definitely hears this, but he doesn't want to move in alone. He'd rather wait for his teammates to make sure they can trade onto Nico.
Well, Nico going for the spray, very close to dropping Dupree, but unfortunately, he's not on 10 HP himself, so this is not going to be easy for him at all. Dupree's just wasting time, allowing Glaive to move in, and Astralis will get their second on the board. It's that ramp aggression. Astralis are throwing it in every single round, it seems, and OpTic, they can deal with it here and there, but it always feels like Astralis get at least 2 kills.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of action at that ramp if it continues to go down that way. But if OpTic can just even out on the trades, then that's fine for them. They can be pretty happy with that. It depends if Astralis continue to stack 3 players there, though, because there's been quite a few rounds now where Astralis stack at least 3 players over towards A at the start of the round. And you've got to think, if that continues to be the case, OpTic will probably lose out in some of those fights. And this is not quite the perfect spy for OpTic.
Not at all, really. You know, you've got a MAC-10 in the hands of Nico, a Deagle in the hands of KGB. We'll see again, though. This is aggression from Device. The deep smoke coming in towards the ramp, keeping OpTic in behind the forklift. It really feels like that is the meta. Is it sort of taking that ramp control. Magisk, oh my god, he doesn't see him just yet. The flash will eventually dissipate. He will get one, nearly the second through the smoke, but unfortunately for him, 2 coming from OpTic, and it's a man advantage for the T side. We'll see if Tessus can get anything done here as Xyp9x is moving aggressive in towards the forklift. Well, the timing has allowed Tessus to fall back safely. Will Xyp9x check that right corner? All comes down to timing. dupreeh in a good angle. He should be good for 1 kill here, but realistically wants more. But Nico expected it. Pre-punch for the MAC-10, but Xyp9x got the timing. 3 kills. That is unbelievable from Xyp9x.
You rarely see players push all the way through A like that, and Device is waiting on the B site, hoping that Nico pushes straight towards him, which is exactly what happens.
This is the kind of aggression Astralis were throwing at Liquid, right? Always getting in behind them. You can see they have no idea what's going on. Magisk's aggressive towards mid. You have players pushing ramp. dupreeh's pushed up on the B stairs. It really feels like Astralis have to play aggressive on the CT side.
And it's worked well for them in that round, and it means that OpTic are taking almost a full save. Config has a single Desert Eagle, and this time around, Astralis are going to be granted a ramp control for free.
Well, Config, he is a very spicy player with a Deagle. We'll see if he can connect any headshots. But again, this deep ramp smoke coming in. Glaive plays with it, finds Config over the top. Tessus looking for the trade. It's actually KGB who will drop Glaive. And finally, Device strikes into action. That's Tessus and the bomb. So OpTic realistically don't stand even a slight chance of winning this. But if they can pick off a few players here in Astralis, forcing the rebuy, try and keep that economy somewhat close. And of course, that things can swing in their way in future rounds, but Magisk does get rid of KGB. It's just the Glocks left here for OpTic.
Yeah, they have a chance of isolating dupreeh, but going 1 by 1 is not the best way to do it. MSL looking to see if he can trade, but that is not going to happen. Astralis tie up the scoreline after some early promise from OpTic. They're being slowly but surely shut down here. It's still very early into this T side, though. I'm sure OpTic could absolutely have more stuff up their sleeve.
They certainly could. We did see already signs of life. It feels like they just really didn't get the economy going. And well, here they go. Lost bonus is allowed for it. They've saved up. They've got everything they kind of want. Maybe bar the AWP in the hands of MSL, but we'll see what they can do. Device again aggressive in behind the sandbags. Magisk helping him, doing damage on towards Config. The second kill as well coming in towards MSL, and Magisk just doing it all. Device will eventually fall. Magisk dropped by KGB, but it's a 3v2 and still Astralis. They stand tall.
Oh, Nico's lurk not able to do the damage necessary. Again, Cajun oftentimes seems to be at the back of the pack for OpTic. This time, he cleans up a couple of kills. But again, Astralis come out on top in that ramp aggression.
Xyp9x in behind the wood, playing passive this time in towards the A-bomb site. Something Astralis haven't really been doing. But it's the late stages. They've got the early advantages. And well, if anybody said Vertigo is boring, this is certainly not a boring way to play it. It's been incredibly fast-paced. Been a bloodbath on that ramp, to be honest. And while Xyp9x is going to be looking for that kill early on this player encroaching on his position, Nico. Flash comes around the corner. Xyp9x fully blinded by it. Has to drop back in towards the elevators. And OpTic, well, they might just get the bomb plant here. And there's a real chance. A 2v3 is dupreeh coming back in from the ramp, looking to be the linchpin for Astralis.
Oh, Astralis again with the aggression for the flanks, and there's Nico eventually trading it out. He's got the molly and flashbangs to work with. The nade does a little bit of damage.
Well, Nico, 1v3 here. He's got the first kill, but needs 2 more. Bomb is planted for him. He's got a Molotov. There's a smoke in the hands of Glaive, though. Only 1 kit Molotov goes in, but the smoke comes in, and that's the worst sign you can hear if you're Nico. As the defuse starts to come through, 2 angles to check, and Glaive has got him. It's 5-4.
That it is. Glaive gets on the bomb in time. Zip gets to save the AWP as well. Not a bad effort from OpTic once they were down in the 2v3. They managed to find the weak point. Again, though, we're just seeing these fights at ramp oftentimes go the way of Astralis. Magisk this time making all the difference, and OpTic just couldn't get those trades quickly enough.
I feel so bad for Device in that position, though. He's gone so aggressive, and because of the timing didn't really work out, he had to hide behind the sandbags, really had to rely on Magisk there. And, well, he really could have just hid behind the sandbags the whole time, as it seems, because Magisk got all of them. Asian B does get rid of Magisk early, though. No more antics for him.
That looked like a very aggressive Magisk in towards mid, and oh, Glaive also gets aggressive. This is dangerous from Astralis against the low buy. Dupree traded out onto the B site, and OpTic are really making this work.
Yeah, this is a little bit scary for Astralis at this point. They have been going aggressive. They've been very proactive on the CT side. But OpTic slow it right down here on the pistol round, and they let Astralis come towards them, try and exploit some mistakes perhaps, and Astralis do fall to the Deagles early. Bomb plant in, still recoverable here for them. No kit, though, on the 2 remaining players. I'm sure there's one line on the floor somewhere. Zipex will pick up Tess's. Cajun able to step in with one more. And Device, a 1v2 is needed. He's got the first in the P250. He runs in towards the side, taps and looks back, but it's Cajun B with a headshot right between the eyes to give OpTic their 5th.
Yeah, and that's much more like it from Cajun B. I was saying that he could be one of the stars of this OpTic squad. If he's going to be playing these passive positions in the backlines, he needs to have impact. He needs to be getting those sorts of kills, and he does so in a big way for OpTic Gaming. Very, very competitive start here on Vertigo. Neither side able to build up any real money. Astralis have had to reinvest everything into this round, but again, Magisk in the enemy lines.
He just keeps pushing forward. Last round of his middle, he's just alternating between ramp and mid, getting so aggressive and causing so many problems for OpTic. And they haven't been able to recover this time. MSL just sitting back in behind the smoke, and immediately they've just been halted. We'll see if MSL can get anything done here towards Device. He's won that battle a few times, and Device has to peek into MSL, so good chance for the Danish in-game leader.
The angle not quite opening up, and Device is too quick on the trigger. Even though he peeks to the left side, he still gets the kill. That leaves OpTic really lacking in this point.
Device has not been one to fall back after the kill, though, here in Vertigo. He keeps pushing forward, and this might just be perfect for him. In behind the sandbags, Nico lies, and there's the kill. He should have spotted the arm of Cajun B as well. And knowing where the last player is, Device is hungry for it, but he's not going to go aggressive. He falls back, lures him in, and Zipnex will find Cajun B.
So what we're seeing from OpTic is a lot of the time it feels like it's Config, TSS, and MSL kind of in the early pack that go towards ramp. Those players are trying to trade it out. Those players are trying to play together. Nico will oftentimes lurk over towards the other side of the map, and then Cajun is a bit more free, but a lot of the times he's holding mid. So once these fights go against them, it's a lot of the times just Cajun and Nico left trying to do what they can.
Yeah, the problem here is we always talk about Vertigo being a map where you want to get up A, it's going to be easier to do your A execute. What do Astralis come up with? Bombard them before they even get on ramp. And obviously, they're just held behind the smoke every single time. Astralis just dominating the ramp room. There's no way OpTic can get near this ramp to do their execute on towards the A-bomb site. So perhaps this is, we're not going to see the A executes come in at all.
Ooh, Zip and Device peeking above and below, making sure they use the elevation. This time Device misses the shot and leaves his teammate to die, but I don't think it's going to matter. Nico, again the last man alive, looking to land a quick shot with the Desert Eagle. Might get given the chance, but Dupree manages to spam him down. And like you were saying, Astralis fighting for this ramp. We saw a lot of this at the Major, though, so I thought OpTic might be ready for it. I think it was Renegades who were doing it every round, it felt like. I feel like they were the first team who were just really going for it round after round. And now Astralis are doing the same.
It's so hard to counter as well, right? Because do you sit back and just let the nades come in? But at that point, Astralis have full control of ramp. And it's going to be very difficult to even get control of that back again. Or do you have to take those early fights and try and see if you can win the duels? And this time, it's Config and Cajun B winning 2 fights. The next was able to pick out one for Astralis, so it's a 4v3 favoring OpTic in towards mid.
And this is the sort of round where you can probably get away with playing slow from this position. Even though Astralis might have control of A ramp, Device is the only man here right now. And you've got time to work with, so you can slowly but surely start to take map control. Ooh, aggression.
Ooh, I love this angle. Glaive is going to spot him. Nico can't deal with that one, unfortunately. And they can actually run both ways. You know, Nico can be underneath Glaive there. There's definitely a risky element to it, but obviously they're finding the better position. Device able to connect on towards Tessus. And again, it falls apart for OpTic. MSL and KGB are going to have to try and figure out a way to get back into this round.
Device just makes those shots look so easy, doesn't he? You just never feel like he's going to miss those. He's so reliable in those positions.
Okay.
Speaking of, MSL has been quite a reliable member of OpTic in this game, and the boost coming through. Great work.
That's perfect. That's so smart as well. Glaive into a 1v2. 34 seconds left. He's in behind them, but they can just walk in towards the A bomb site. Glaive has to try and get on hot on their heels at this point. OpTic have played this one perfectly.
And even if he makes steps now, it's going to be heard by the man above. That is one of the factors of this map.
Yeah.
So Glaive has to walk the whole way, and that buys OpTic much more time.
Well, yeah, this is something Steel was talking about, right? You can't just book it back to your bomb site as soon as you hear the footsteps. You will be heard no matter where you are. Glaive is going to come in from behind. MSL, he is going to fall. It's a 1v1 fight. KGB on 18 HP, and the in-game leader of Astralis looking to come through. He's got the first, just one more needed as KGB is playing safe. So many angles. He's going to Molotov off the elevators, looking for the close angle, but he's not checking the one angle where KGB is playing from. Eventually, Glaive will tap. And finally, KGB peeks into the open. Glaive knows where he is, but the time's ticking. Molotov comes in, there's the kill, but is there enough time? I think the Molotov might have just confirmed victory here for OpTic. What a comeback there from KGB and MSL. 2v3 clutch.
Yeah, making it happen in on the A site again. We've only had the one round where OpTic went towards B off the back of the fake. Again, we were saying Device always looks solid on these sorts of angles, but didn't end up working out for them. And like you said, it was all down to this boost. Cajun boosted up, quick kill on the mid player. Device wasn't really expecting that boost to come through quite so quickly. And then Cajun does a great job surviving on such low health to make sure he can buy the time to win the clutch. Uses the Molotov to close out the round win. And that means that OpTic are staying within touching distance.
That's all they can do at this point. Even though it's felt like Astralis have slapped them a few times, OpTic have stayed in this. You know, they've got those early rounds on their back. They got the 3 that they needed. Well, they found 3 more. One off the back of a pistol, yes. A clutch coming through there in a 2v3. But OpTic, as long as they find those rounds, they still stand a chance here, moving into the second. I'm looking forward to seeing what they've got on their CT side. Because Astralis has been pretty hectic, right? It's been super aggressive, super hard to deal with on the T side. And all things considered, OpTic are doing okay.
Yeah, I think with how we saw the aggression come through at the major as well, OpTic have to be aware that that's what most teams are probably doing at this point, or at least a lot of Vertigo teams have started to go aggressive A ramp. So it's just a question of whether OpTic think that's the best approach as well, or if they think they've got something new that they can bring to their CT side.
That's the fun thing about this map, right? We're really discovering the meta every tournament that passes. And obviously, this is something that stayed from the major, and a lot of teams have kept, and it's super effective.
And just taking a quick glance at that scoreboard, Zipnik's currently at the top with 14 kills. I should say Zipex now, shouldn't I? I keep saying Zipnix.
Yeah. I mean, that's a hard habit to break, right?
I know. And then Device, obviously, those AWP battles have just been so reliable. I think that's the main thing. He always seems to get at least 1 or 2 in ramp.
You can always sort of bank on Device, right? That's the one player you can always rely on. And if you are a player that is getting into CS and wants to be an AWPer, I'd probably look at Device. You know, simple, yeah, great player, best in the world, right? Zywoo, incredible Prodigy player, but replicating what they do is going to be almost impossible unless you have their degree of skill, right? Device is a player that just makes the right decision pretty much every time, it feels like.
And speaking of, Device has got the AWP back in his hands for the upcoming round. OpTic slowly but surely investing into this one. Tessus stuck with a UMP. Remember, Tessus and MSL had a bunch of kills early. And then from there, they've maybe slowed down a bit, but they're still top of the team.
Yeah, but that also comes to the part that a few of them have also stepped up. KGB playing pretty well. He's had a lot of impact, obviously, in the clutch. But he's going to be back into the action. Round number 14 coming right up. It's Astralis leading the way, 7-6. Well, Molotov is going to go in towards the toolbox, trying to take mid control early. Smoke ready to go around the corner as well. This is something OpTic have done recently where, you know, maybe going towards ramp might not be the best decision. Let's try and take some mid control.
Yeah, what do Astralis think of this? Are they comfortable leaving mid so open? Magisk has rotated over, trying to jump spot over the top. I think Cajun is just hidden behind that one, though, so Magisk might not have spotted this man out.
That's very smart as well from KGB, right? Being aware that he can be jump spotted from that position, so crouching in behind the toolbox so that they can't spot him. Device is going to be looking for his head. Oh, and KGB so quick. Headshot comes in on the AK. Man advantage for OpTic, and that's more of the impact we're expecting to see from KGB. And while they're going to walk in towards the B bomb site, Dupree, he has to step up here.
Astralis is so ready for this, though. They've got 3 players stacked on this B site.
Well, utility is coming in. Glaive looking for it, but Dupree gets aggressive and finds the head of Config. That's pulled right back into a 4v4 as Dupree goes back in towards the Molotov. Nico burns him alive, and it's a 3v3. 35 seconds, bomb on the floor. Magisk looking at it. Will surely call that to his teammates. We have the bomb. KGB will eventually drop. Zipex coming in with a big flank and more impact from KGB. Nico drops his teammate. Glaive will get 1, and Chaos on the B bomb site. KGB with 4.
This is, again, what I wanted to see. KGB has been playing these passive roles, these lurk positions for this OpTic squad. But in the past, he's not been able to have anywhere near as much impact as he's had in this game. It's a great quad kill from Cajun. It's very scrappy towards the end there. But you saw Astralis rotate 3 players towards the B site, which is very rare. Clearly, they were aware it was going to be the B play. And yet still, OpTic trade it out. And we rarely see teams take the B site like that.
Well, Glaive is going to get decapitated, and well, it could be a half end in favor of OpTic Gaming here, as KGB is stepping up to another level. 2 kills coming his way. Dupree and Zipnex into 2 versus 5. And while it was looking rough early for OpTic, or in the mid portions after the first 3, they have recovered in an excellent way, certainly showing they're a capable Vertigo team. Astralis obviously will probably be looking for a little bit more here moving into the second half, but Zipnex up on top of the sandbags has been spotted. Goes for the shot through the wall, but it's only a matter of time here before they fall. OpTic surely grabbed himself an 8th.
Molotov over the top to make sure the bomb can hopefully cross safely to the site.
Zipex, he is going to be waiting. Oh, there's the shot. He will fall the MSL. It's all on Dupree. A 1v5 as OpTic take over the A bomb site, and OpTic look to go ahead here. It's 7 at the half. We're going to go to a short break, but I'm looking forward to seeing what OpTic can do moving into the second half.
Even though I'm #1 like an athlete, in the way I maneuver around you and through you, I'm coming and I'm bound to pursue you. I'm everything that you knew of, plus more. What's in store is I'm about to get to you. Sleepless nights, better think this twice before you step to me and come and speak with strife. There's a lesson when you reach my life. It'll be chin checking and I'll teach you right. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I've seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge. I'll be anyone. I'm the one. I'll be quite clear. Bow down to no one. I'm right here. I get it in. I don't fight fair. And guess what? I'm your worst nightmare. Cause I ain't taking no losses. And I don't even care what the cost is. Are you prepared for the forces I'm about to bring? Cause I'm the boss of all bosses. I penetrate your thoughts and fill them with doubt. You gon' feel where I'm coming and feel what I'm about. If they come in with the drama, I'm wheeling them out. Cause I ain't about to have somebody here stealing my clout. I keep my friends close, enemies closer. Cause that's the way it is and the way it's supposed to be. Anybody can see there's only room for one, and that one is me. Plenty tried, plenty failed. Too many times I seen plenty bail. And there will be no surprise what I'm about to do when you are looking through my eyes. See many go, see many come. See that they won't bring it to me, son. Try me if you want, but won't be any fun. I'll take the challenge, I'll beat anyone.
Well, OpTic surprised with a Vertigo pick, but they come out of the first half ahead. It's 8-7. The Danes, the underdog Danes, should I say, taking on the Titans Astralis. And, well, Alex, they're leading as they move into the CT half.
And Astralis seem to be having the same idea for their pistol round as OpTic did. I think OpTic are having the same idea as Astralis did, though. It's a repeat performance, except switched around. OpTic stacking 3 on this A site, but it's going to be difficult for them to deal with all this utility. With these Molotovs and smokes, they should be able to get that bomb down, assuming they can win these opening exchanges.
Yeah, the difference is here, OpTic have let them come on towards the site, but Nico's position might go unchecked. Will Astralis be thorough in their approach as Tessis is going to be close. Scott looking for the first kill. He's got that. A second from Tessis, and the youngster goes huge with the first 2 kills. Nico steps in with 2 more, and well, OpTic, they find the pistol convincingly.
There we go. Tessis with great damage done there on the initial hold. And then because they haven't traded him out, Nico just has clear vision onto the 2 players that were fully focused on Tessis. That was basically perfect from OpTic's perspective. Everything went according to plan. Good to see Nico getting some more frags on the board as well, because Nico didn't really get too much action in that first half. A lot of the time he was the lurker over on the other side of the map, couldn't really get involved in too many of the early fights. So it's nice to see him have some impact early on at the CT side. And unfortunately for Astralis, they haven't been able to invest a single dollar, a single penny into this round.
Zepex jumping around MSL. In behind the corner, peeks into the open. That'll be as easy as you like for MSL. He will pick up 2. He'll call upon his teammate Tessis to try and figure out what's going on here, but they are getting shot up by these Glocks, and while they may not be the most potent of weapons, they certainly are annoying as the shots come in, doing a little bit of damage here and there. Eventually, Astralis look to fall here. Dupree will get 1 kill, but Nico finishes off the rest. It's 10-7. OpTic hit double figures. And again, well, Astralis have lost both pistols, and OpTic find the follow-up both times as well. So OpTic have had everything going their way pretty much at the start of these halves.
Yeah, and OpTic definitely heard those Glocks there. Full Glocks from Astralis. So they must be aware that this is almost certainly a full buy from Astralis into this subsequent round. Let's see what the response is from OpTic. They're not fighting for A ramp quite as heavily early on. 1 smoke goes down, but they're not completely pushing into that position, whereas Astralis did so in almost every round. Instead, it's a much more standard setup from OpTic in terms of having players all across the map.
Well, again, the mid-tier coming through. There's going to be a boost up towards the window for 1 player. It's Config. We can have a crossfire established with Nico. Flash comes around the corner, gets the info, sees perhaps too many players. Then he doesn't want to take flight swift, so he falls back into safety. Calls for the boost on the other end. MSL over the top of the smoke drops Magisk. There's a man advantage for OpTic. I like that boost.
Ooh, a nade has just done significant damage to 2 players at B. I think Astralis were attempting a boost, but a nade landed right on their noggins. So they are going to go down to half health each. Clave's still sitting in mid. He's really hoping that someone from OpTic comes his way. But the CTs are pretty content sitting back and just waiting for Astralis to go and make the play.
Well, 45 seconds left. Astralis starting to make their approach in towards B. Config He'll spot the utility come in, and that's enough information for him to toss his. Call for a rotation of at least one teammate, but Glaive, he can get the timing here on the door. Swings the door open, Nico, his head is gone. And Glaive will spin back, finds a second, checks for the corner, and KGB nearly falls there himself. He will step up with 2 kills on the UMP, switches out to the AK. And this is a game of gun game for KGB, looking to deny the bomb plant, but enough chaos has been made by him. Astralis will get the bomb plant. Zipex able to pick up the headshot, and it's all on KGB. Another clutch is required from him. He stepped up when OpTic needed him, but he has to do it again, and Device will deny that opportunity. It's 10 to do it, and Astralis, well, they find one.
Yeah, it felt like OpTic maybe lost track of Glaive's position, so far pushed up towards mid. Nico had no clue, and then MSL was hoping that he would get the trade. Didn't happen for him. The timing must have been a bit off as well, because MSL was coming around that corner, it seemed, just as Nico must have been dealt with. And sadly for OpTic Gaming, even though it looked okay for them on their B hold, they had loads of nades to hold it off. You saw the early smoke from Config to try to make sure that he could deny Astralis from taking the site. But once Glaive causes that much havoc in behind, it's really difficult to hold the site itself.
A lot of boosts coming in from OpTic. So obviously, they've been on the server, they've been trying these, they've been figuring out ways of making them work. Flash goes in towards Zipnex. He will have a piece of utility of his own ready. Smoke goes over and smokes off the gap in the wood. That's obviously another addition added to one of the earlier versions of Vertigo. It has been chopping and changing. It's been reworked a few times, and it's starting to get to a place now where we're seeing competitive games, which is obviously what we want to see. And we'll see if Config can hold off the B-bomb site. He's going to be jump spotting yet again to spot utility. Astralis are going to be throwing an execute on in. Smoke towards window. Magist ready with his utility as well. Astralis looking for the set piece, but that Molotov's kind of disrupted it slightly.
Oh, Config takes a nade to the face though. Device manages to get him with just a couple of shots, and they're already falling back from this one. OpTic don't look like they want to fight too hard for the site.
I mean, they have got an M4 in the hands of KGB. Tessus has Kevlar and, of course, a smoke. So, might as well save something, because winning this is impossible. So, save the Kevlar. You have light Kevlar on Tessus, full Kevlar on KGB. So, not too bad in terms of saving. And Astralis, well, we'll get 9 on the board. I'm liking this, Alex, though. A very competitive game here on Vertigo.
I'm also enjoying seeing a team try and go for some more B takes.
Yeah.
Because that's something we've very rarely seen. You sometimes see what OpTic went for in the first half. They went for the fake towards A, and then they hit the B site. But Astralis aren't even really going for a fake. They're just going for a straight-up take of that B bomb site, and they only needed the 1 kill this time to get control. And that's something worth looking at for teams, because CTs are playing it somewhat passive on that B site sometimes.
The crazy thing about that was, you know, that was made possible by the fact that Zipex was able to just walk up an A ramp, right? He seen no one was really poking for info. He could throw 1 smoke and pretty much instantly knew, well, they don't have any info towards A, so we can commit in towards the B bomb site if needed. That's exactly what Astralis do. Let's see if OpTic can do anything here off the back of this round. It's going to be another eco for them. They have, of course, the CFD Eagles and the M4 of KGB, but we shouldn't really expect too much from OpTic here. As Zipex will drop Config. KGB has to be the impactful player here, and he's pushed up through T-spawn.
The problem is it's only TSS properly on the A site right now. He has to hold this one alone, and there are Molotovs, there are smokes coming in towards him.
No.
Ooh, he is going to smoke that molly eventually. Another molly comes at his feet, so he has to go back into the smoke. Glaive is pushing through, though. Tessus has lost track of this.
Surely Glaive checks this box, though. Zipex does pick up MSL. Tessus will strike into action. He will get 1 kill and does damage onto a second. Finally, he will be dealt with. And yeah, KGB, save time again. I can picture Twitch chat.
So can I.
KGB saving the M4 on over towards the B-bomb site. Astralis, you know, they have a few players that are in a position to hunt at this point, but they don't seem to be too hungry for it. OpTic going to get the buy into the next one anyway. And we'll be looking at a 10-10 scoreline. So again, we're at a stalemate.
And this is where we'll see the full gun round from OpTic. We'll see whether they want to go for that early aggression in towards A ramp, like Astralis were doing from the first half. We can also get the AWP into the hands of MSL. Currently top of the board for OpTic, joint with Cajun-B. And while Device has been stable and solid on his AWP, we haven't seen those two AWPers go face-to-face too often. I think MSL got the best of Device once.
Yeah, but I feel like that was on a run where Device... I want to say it's a run where Device didn't even have an AWP, I have to say.
Maybe.
He had an AK. Yeah, that was it. He was playing the A ramp far back, but we've seen the AWP battle. Well, MSL wins it this time.
Yeah, definitely looks like he's capable with that sniper in his hands. dupreeh, the only player towards B, but it's the A ramp that we're looking towards because MSL continues to stick around with the AWP. Playing it passive, again, trying to go in and out of this angle, and the flashbang makes things awkward. Elsewhere, though, good B aggression from OpTic. They take dupreeh out of the round.
Yeah, this is solid from OpTic. MSL falls all the way back, and Glaive has to play close in towards the ramp. This is going to be so difficult for Glaive to survive. If he swings wide without utility, MSL surely picks up this kill. And if he drops MSL, the swing's going to come in surely from TeSeS. So at this point, Glaive shouldn't really be around for much longer unless there's a set piece coming through here from his team.
Yeah, no flashes. It's got to be the smoke to keep him safe, and there it is. Glaive throws a simple smoke himself. The Molotov to follow. MSL doesn't quite have vision, but the boost is an option.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to deal with that. Astralis, they get on towards the bomb site, but they're going to have to try and deal with the two-man deficit that they've currently got to fight against. The bomb plant does come through. They'll fall back. And Glaive, he's aware of the flank possibility. Config is going to be coming here. Headshot coming in. Glaive pulls it back to touching distance. And Zipex, instead of falling back, he's going to be holding a little bit more of an advanced stance, looking for a head to peek over the boost. He does get flashed off the angle. Hit on MSL, but the kill comes in from Glaive. Looking for more. He will fall to Nico. So it's all a Magisk and Zipnex into a 2v3. Spraying away. There's the kill from Zipex and Astralis. They've recovered this. There's two players left, but they're so low on HP. It's all on MSL, and Zipex has got that. Well recovered from Astralis, and OpTic, they look like they play it perfectly.
Yeah, those smokes last for quite a long time. OpTic couldn't get that retake going as early as they would have liked. This fight from Glaive was so key as well, because now you know you're not getting flanked. Cuts down the options that OpTic can be coming in from, and these SGs just hold back, knowing that OpTic need to move in towards them. Nicely done by Astralis, and Glaive is having a good game in terms of fragging. Recently, his numbers have been much lower than they were in the past, which is maybe to be expected, considering he was putting up great numbers in 2018 when he was that in-game leader for the team. He started to slip slightly, but you can't really blame him too much for that. He's still a solid fragger. He's having a good game here. Device moving in. Cajun-B caught from two sides. Again, it's a B take from Astralis, this time against the low buy, but they get that round win incredibly quickly.
Astralis turning up the gears at this point, trying to get it rolling. Well, it's 12-10. Pause comes in. It's a tactical timeout from Astralis. You know there's going to be a buy coming in from OpTic here. They want to be all on the same page. They have something planned, a little bit more in depth. Perhaps they're expecting something that OpTic's going to throw at them. This is the time to talk about it.
We do again see the AWP in the hands of MSL, whereas Astralis are sticking with the rifles. Not giving Device that AWP right now. So OpTic Gaming have really got to pull this round out of the bag. The money not too good for them. Again, we're seeing pretty similar setups from OpTic, and it feels like they're putting themselves in reasonable positions to win these rounds, but just not able to close them out. So I don't know if we'll see a switch up from OpTic. They seem pretty happy with this same setup they're going for, the 2-1-2 split. And MSL this time trying to use the angle. The smoke makes things awkward though, he backs off.
We see Device do this a lot as well. He had to rely on his teammate a couple of times to bail him out of the position. Definitely has a risk with it. MSL looking for a head, jumping over the top, but Astralis not giving up anything. Should be aware of MSL's possible position, so the flash is going to come through. MSL doesn't care. He'll look away and come back. He will hit the shot, but it's not the kill. Zipnex gets away with his life, but MSL still standing here, and he will find Glaive.
Maybe a bit of miscommunication there from Astralis. Glaive goes in, but there's no one behind him. No nades either, or at least no successful nades onto MSL, who gets back to safety. He has taken damage, so again the AWP decides to play passive. I thought for a second we might see a fight there, but the Astralis player was on the other side.
Yeah. Well, Device sits back to the toolbox. Nico, is he aware that there could be a player there? Seems like he was reaching for his Molotov a few times there. And at this point it comes down to patience. Which player will bite first? Device just hiding, waiting for his teammates to get into a better position. And Device will eventually start taking the fight. Nico, he's spotted but not dealt with. Molotov comes in from Device. Smoke comes in front of that as well. And well, he does spot a player in towards the corner. KGB doesn't see Device, doesn't even think it's a possibility that he could come through the window. And Device will pick him up. It's back into a 4v4 in the B bomb site. It's Astralis's.
Yeah, it's another successful B take from Astralis, but Config moving in with a couple of kills, trying to see if he can do more, and Magis isn't going to go down. Somehow wins the fight, but he's only alive on 5 health. Nico comes in with the trade, and Dupree has to hold this one down.
He's taken a lot of damage, though, in that duel, so this is going to be a very difficult 1v2. Tap comes in, spams away, but there's a player up towards the window, surely at this point. That peek comes in as the tap comes through. MSL will find Dupree, and it's OpTic on the board again. Back to winning ways. 12-11. Yet again, another nail-biter of a round.
Config does so much work in this one as well. Astralis thought they had the bomb plant safely on the site, but Config just comes in with 2 instant headshots. Astralis could not trade it out. He probably could have got the 3rd kill as well, but he did enough to allow Nico to get the trade, and from that point, OpTic were going to come out on top.
There was a bit of a mistake there, like you said. You pointed it out from Astralis. Glaive just running off on his own towards the ramp. MSL's waiting for him, drops him. And well, MSL's been doing a pretty solid job, currently on 20 kills. KGB is also the other player who's had a hell of a lot of impact. So OpTic have got 3 players doing a lot here. Config, KGB, and MSL.
Glaive peeking up through the ramp. Again, looking to go in first. He's been taking more of the entry roles from Astralis recently. That's probably part of the reason why his stats have slightly decreased. Another boost of the AWP over the top. Oh, Device could have got the kill.
Yeah, the timing on that just so unfortunate. Tessus will get away without getting a haircut. Device is not the barber you're looking for. Glaive has got the smoke ready. That'll go in towards the site, execute in towards the A-bomb site. The OpTic just let this one go, play for the retake. They've got the man advantage, and he's still got plenty of utility as well. Molotov's ready to bounce off the wall. This is going to be difficult for Astralis to get on towards the site. Glaive has been playing with the smokes time and time again, but the timing this time, he's going to have to fall away, and Nico will come in for 2, and that is just timing. All in the timing is Glaive not working out for him, but his teammates come in with 2. It's one on Device. Magis doing work as he finds another. He'll look back in the right direction. I think he spotted the hand of MSL there. Device should be aware. He's not looking that way, though. He's looking towards the ramp. Magis spots a player towards the boost, and it's Config that'll take him, and MSL spots the arm of Device, finishes him off, and it's 12-12. We're back again at even odds.
Man, Magis just had no cover on the site. It was just a situation where he had to fight his way out of that one, and he nearly delivered. He got back towards that ramp, but decided to go for a little bit more. And Astralis are going to take their 2nd timeout. Nice retake from OpTic in that round, and it's Astralis with money into this one, but maybe some money issues into the future. We'll wait and see. This does feel like a really important round, though, with OpTic having almost no money in the bank. Again, we're seeing impact from MSL's AWP. That's such a promising sign. Like you said, Cajun has had some really important rounds as well.
Well, this pick, baffled me a little bit from OpTic. But obviously, they've come prepared. They're playing well. Maybe Dust 2 becomes a little bit more scary for Astralis moving into that 2nd map. We'll see what they can do here in the remaining rounds of Vertigo. It is going to be an SG in the hands of Device, Magis, and Zipex. MSL aggressive on the sandbags. Utility coming in. Lots of flashes from Astralis trying to force MSL away, and they've hard countered that. And there's no trade potential whatsoever from OpTic.
Yeah, that's the way to counter that, isn't it? Device was doing that position so often in the first half. If you just molly and nade it, how the hell do you get away? Really nice stuff.
This boost, though, this could be good. OpTic getting into the corner. It's Tessis looking over the top. He spots the head of Device, and that's the bomb.
Wow.
Zipex will trade almost instantly, but that's great from Tessis. He spots the bomb, and he drops it. So into a 3v4. Man advantage still with Astralis. Nico moves through the smoke, but Glaive's got a headshot. It's all on the config in Cajun B. And well, it's hard to see a world in which Astralis lose this one.
Yeah, I think Nico realized he can't just sit back and give his team a 3v4 retake. Tried to deny the bomb. Not sure what config's going to do here.
Yeah, this is not going to be easy for config whatsoever, so he's going to have to just try and back off, and Zipex is covering that avenue, so config most certainly meets his maker here unless he gets the drop on Zipex, which he will. Has to use utility to cross safely, but they're swarming him. They're swarming from every angle. Config just hiding, hoping the time ticks, but Dupree finds his head, and it's 13-12. Astralis 3 away as they reclaim the lead. This is just perfect, though.
Oh, yeah.
Look how much utility they had to use up. So the Molotov comes in, the nade, a lot of it is off the back of Zipex. And obviously the spam comes in as well. So yeah, I really like that. So when they were doing it with Device pushing up towards the sandbags, though, they always had a player off to the left that could trade.
Yeah, it's because OpTic don't commit those 3 players to the A site, right? They don't have as many players ready to help. We also see the smoke go up, which means you can just throw those nades safe through the smoke. You can know that you're 100% safe throwing those pretty much.
Or 90%.
Yeah, you never know.
Well, Tessis, he has got the deagle in his hand. Oh,
the
takes
traffic
damage onto Device. Looking for some more spams. I think Astralis should realize, well, we're up against the pistols. We had a little bit of a snafu against these earlier. Need to be a little bit careful.
Same smoke and molly combo over towards the left side of the A site. Glaive looks to lead the charge. It's actually Device who's already got the entry. Tessis manages to trade on towards him. That molly's not there. The molly no longer there, but Zipnix helps out his teammate. The bomb planted just about. Glaive takes a ton of damage in the process.
That's a great nade as well. Look at Tessis just getting dropped to 36. Glaive runs away, styles on him. CZ picked up from Nico. Going back in towards the corner. Tessis in behind the smoke. Smokes come on towards the site, flashes over the top. And Astralis looking to just make sure this goes through. OpTic tapped the bomb, but it's not looking great for the Magisk. Will connect the headshot. Nico's grabbed an AK, so they're going to tuck tail and just leave that A-bomb site. Astralis up to 14.
Yeah, I think just tapping the bomb, maybe hoping that Astralis end up dying to that. And Glaive goes down. A little bit of damage, but really, Astralis' money remains quite solid.
Yeah, this is looking like a nail-biter blockbuster of a game. OpTic need to get this to stop map point. They've got a buy coming in here. AWP in the hands of MSL. It's going to be one of the most important rounds OpTic have had to play. This is their map pick if you are just tuning in. OpTic have decided to go with Vertigo. And Astralis, they're currently in the lead. Dupree holding for some B aggression. It is coming, but it feels as though if you are the T player, you can't really afford to walk underneath that archway once you've wasted some time, because they can spot you before you can even see them. So that can be very difficult to safely cross over towards that side of B. But this time, no one from OpTic on the ramp.
Yeah, again, fairly static CT setups from OpTic. It's been basically the same thing every round. Perhaps getting a bit too predictable in some of these. The A-hold has been struggling in the recent rounds. We've seen Astralis take a much more varied approach on their T side of Vertigo here. I wonder if Tessis is going to be cleared again. You see players overlook that position sometimes, although this is not the A take we're used to from Astralis. The bomb currently not in position. Glaive commits to the bomb site, but this fake has not worked well enough. 3 kills in favor of OpTic. Good luck to Dupree and Zip trying to take this B site.
Yeah, this is clinical from OpTic. 2 players left. Config pushed up on the stairs. Dupree is going to check the right angle for it. Spams away, eventually drops Config, but the peek comes in from Cajun B. Dupree will get that kill as well, so it's a 1v3. And it's certainly doable here for Dupree as Molotov goes in towards the back of the electric box. He spotted another, but MSL will drop him. 14-13, OpTic back to another winning ways, but can they keep it up? That's such an important round for them to win.
Man, Astralis committed so hard to that fake on the A site with 3 players. To not get a single kill there is a real shame for them. Means that OpTic can lock down that B site without too many difficulties.
Well, there goes another tactical timeout for OpTic. I definitely cannot blame them for calling it at this point.
Yeah, it has been a very back and forth game, so both these teams haven't had to use their timeouts earlier because it's generally been very close. So you've got the timeouts left, no reason not to use them.
Astralis always seem to be great with their timeouts as well. When you see them go to overtime games, there was times at the major where they still had timeouts left in overtime, which is pretty crazy, right? So that's something that a lot of teams are getting better at as well, is knowing when to use the timeouts. A lot of teams will not use timeouts, and obviously that's not the right way to go. But as long as you can sort of make those 4 timeouts last across the entire game, it's certainly the right way to go. As OpTic currently behind by 1, but if they put on a clink like they did in the last one, they could very well equalize.
Again, MSL still top of the board for OpTic Gaming. This round, though, we see TeSS alone on the A site. If an execute were to come in towards him early, that would be a real problem position for OpTic. And Astralis are starting to take control of A ramp. Nico will rotate over, but generally, it's been the AWP of MSL here. So this is finally a slight switch up in OpTic's setup.
Again, just leaving the ramp open, but we've seen how that went last time. Astralis will throw the Molotov in towards the sandbags. They'll start to make their way up, clearing as they go. Smoke execute easily coming through here. Molotov up towards the boost. Flashes are coming through as well. The OpTic are pulling players over towards A very quickly indeed here. No kills coming in just yet, but Zipnex takes so much damage on board. Has to use the smoke to get rid of the Molotov just to get the bomb plant. Grenade comes in and the bomb plant denied. That's great from TeSS as Glaive has to run in. Man after man, Astralis are going to have to try and get this bomb plant. It's not going to come through again as Nico picks up Glaive. Finally, Dupree steps in, but it's falling apart for Astralis. Eventually, these smokes will fade and they'll have to take the aim fights with the man deficit. Dupree on 8 HP, KJP in the perfect position. MSL in the back lines. This is not looking good for Astralis whatsoever. Magisk going huge with 2 kills, but he needs more. It is a 2v2. Looking for the denial of the bomb plant yet again is TeSS, but it won't come through this time. Magisk does the job. He'll look back and there's another kill. Magisk looking to do it all for Astralis, looking for map point. And what is that from Magisk? That is ridiculous.
Oh, it's such a kerfuffle in and around the A site. It's hard to keep track of it all, but all I was seeing was Magisk racking up frags in the top right corner. I like the fact OpTic had the nade there. They denied the bomb plant. They bought so much time for the retake, but then Magisk just frags out, having to clear all these different angles.
He's stuck on default, right? He plants the bomb, gets 2 kills, and finds the follow-ups. That is ridiculous for Magisk, and it's map point for Astralis. OpTic looked like they had that one in the bag. They deny the bomb plant not once, but twice, and they have complete control of the bomb site. The smokes are fading from Astralis, their execute is gone, and you just can't deal with Magisk.
Yeah, you saw how powerful the nade to deny the bomb plant was as well, because Astralis assumed, okay, we've got the bomb plant, we're playing back from the ramp now. So when they go for the bomb plant the second time around, there's no one defending it. There was only one player somewhat nearby. So like you said, it looked great for OpTic, but then Magisk just manages to dance around the site like a ballerina. A ballerina?
Well, a deadly
Definitely.
ballerina. Well, TeSS is going to go aggressive.
Ooh.
He will get dropped immediately. MSL will pick up 2 on the MP9. Nico stepping in. That's the bomb. That's the man advantage for OpTic as well. And this is just not expected whatsoever. Astralis, they've been thrown a curveball. Will they be able to try and recover from this? Dupree is starting to walk up in towards B. It is empty at the meantime, but Config, if he gets the timing right, he might just catch him off. He is the closest player towards the B bomb site, but Dupree has already crossed the window. Oh no, look at this position. KJP is even stronger. Spots Glaive. That's the bomb on the floor. And Dupree in a 1v3. That was just pistols pretty much. A couple of SMGs and a rifle here and there. And that's what OpTic should win off the back of here.
Yeah, I was waiting for OpTic to switch up their setup. I was waiting for that 3 ramp stack. You think it had to be coming eventually. They decide to wait for when they have the low buy, when they have the weak weapons that can favor, that can benefit those close range duels. 40 seconds for dupreeh. He doesn't want to make noise. He's hoping that he can catch a player off guard, but the bomb is quite far away from him. He might get this kill for free, but the time is not his ally.
Well, he has to get close first of all. There it is. Let's walk into him. He will pick up that kill into a 1v2. Time is certainly not his ally at the minute. It's working against him. Smoke comes in. dupreeh knows there's a player close. Drops Cajun B, and there's time for this. dupreeh, where does he go off the back of this? He's got the bomb, and he's sprinting towards A. Throws the Molotov in behind him. This is going to be tight, but he has to immediately plant upon arrival. Smoke goes in. He'll go for the plant, but he's on the A bomb site here. This is perfect. No. Convict's made the right call, but is there time? I don't think so. There just isn't. Just a millisecond in it. And dupreeh, that looked like there was a real chance, but it's not going to come through. Round number 30. It's either overtime or it's a 16-14 win for Astralis.
I think he stopped for a second. I think he wasn't exactly sure where the site was. Nico there was backing up thinking, I don't remember there being a box here. It was dupreeh behind him. Oh, man.
There was a few instances that could have saved that time, right? That Molotov in behind him. He doesn't know if there's a player chasing. That could have bought him an extra second. There was little increments there that cost dupreeh.
OpTic's money. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, even after winning one, it's still a dire position, right? They called the timeout. They're ready to go, but even if they win this one, which is very difficult, it's only overtime.
I don't think Config saved a gun. I don't think he got one at the end there. Either way, he's on the FAMAS, unless it was dropped to MSL, but I'm not entirely sure.
Pretty sure he dropped it to MSL.
Didn't dupreeh have the AK?
dupreeh had an AK.
M4 for him? I don't know. I don't know.
15-14.
Go back in the demo on that one, we'll see. But I don't think he did. Either way, like you said, round number 30, and Astralis also have a weak buy.
Yeah, well, Test is aggressive, close towards the ramp, spraying away with the FAMAS. It will be Glaive that drops him. And it's going to be the man advantage here for the T side. Astralis going to get off to a strong start in the last round of regulation. No answers from OpTic from that early pick. Device barely alive though on 7 HP, so that is good damage.
When they need a round win, Astralis are going back to B. They did this earlier in the half, and Config spots the info on the jiggle, but Astralis are continuing to walk up.
Well, they know Config has to be towards this side of the bomb site. They'll start to put pressure on him. Great kill from dupreeh. Now Astralis can just run on towards the bomb site. Cajun B cannot win the fight against the AK as Magic will drop him. MSL and Nico in a 2v5 as the bomb is planted. Spraying away. MSL looking for the headshot. He's got it. As Magic will fight back immediately. It's all on Nico. 1v4. A valiant attempt from OpTic, but it looks like Astralis might have just done it. And there it is. A 16-14 win here, and Astralis will take away Vertigo.
Man, that was such a hard-fought game. OpTic really showed us what they were willing to play with on this map, but it's not quite there for them.
We are going to go to a short break, but we'll be back to break this one down just in a minute.